Okay, I think
Oh,
we are live. What's
I think so.
poppin', people? The good people of YouTube. It's a great day to be great. It's a great week to be great. And we're excited to be with you. Talk some fantasy football, talk some start sits, maybe talk about the matchup tomorrow, get some updated on some news.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean it's going to be a good time. But Aki, what's the what decision are you struggling with the most in your lineups at the moment?
Um, Running backs.
I hear you.
I think there's so many good running backs right now that some running backs have good matchups. Some of them are supposed to be superstars that we don't know. I feel like the Dalvin, the Breeses are so in question. We don't know who to start. Do we really want to start Raheem Mostert this week over, the likes of someone like a hypothetically a Rashad White? There's just so many names that you can start at the running back position. Where I feel like the wide receivers, which by the way, I'm going to be bringing out my top 30 wide receivers coming out in the next couple days here.
That'll be tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow is
yeah.
when that video should release.
There's a little bit more, decisions can be made for us because we have so many question marks. Cooper Kupp's out, Jerry Jeudy's in question, Terry's in question, so many wide receivers. But that's kind of what I'm struggling with, the running back position right now.
Yeah, for sure. Why don't we go ahead and get updated on some news? And, always good to get updated on news before we start to answer your questions. That way, hopefully, we're all on the same page. As we're talking about players that you might want to start sit, Amari Cooper, we don't worry about that. Let's just let me look through and see things that are actually important. George Kittle returning to practice. That's huge.
That's good.
Absolutely huge if you have George Kittle. He dealt with a similar injury to begin the year last year. Was able to come back from it, so that's good to know. But a lot of people are saying probably not going to play week one. I personally would say if he's practicing on Wednesday, that's a good sign for week one. Jalen Waddle back at practice. Devon A-Chain, full participant. Hey, where are my A-Chain truthers out there? Who took him late in drafts? Y'all excited to see him with me? I got him on way too many teams. It's like my RB5, just waiting for him to hopefully explode and take that job at some point. Not week one, at some point.
At some point.
Kenny Golladay back to New York for the Jets. That would cause chaos.
Wide receiver 1 over Garrett Wilson. Guaranteed. Lock it in.
Jerry Jeudy limited in practice. That's good that he's at least back. Cooper Kupp ruled out for week one. They haven't put him on IR, but they said the team isn't ruling it out. So not exactly what you want to hear. Kadarius Toney will play. Travis Kelce officially questionable. To me, this is good news because I fully expected like today to wake up and to the report be, yeah, Kelce's out this week. Like that was exactly what I thought. Now maybe it's a game plan thing, playing with the other team's mindset, but it's encouraging at minimum. We'll have to wait and see. Nick Bosa got the big deal. So everyone out there who told me that I was an idiot because was worried about Najee Harris. Oh, there's no Nick Bosa. This team is bad without Nick Bosa. First off, that team is not bad without Nick Bosa, but it definitely helps.
For real.
So hopefully those people out there, are
this is
okay.
a big dynasty impact, I would say.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later, but
Kendre Miller not practicing. JSN will play week one. So yeah, good to see. That was quicker than I expected him to come back. I don't think 100%. I'm starting him week one still, but
no, he would definitely be limited in my opinion.
Joe Burrow good to go. We expected that. Josh Dobbs expected to be the starter. So let's see what happens in Arizona. Mark Andrews returns to practice. This is a big one. Christian Watson missing from practice. You do not want one of your top 5-round or 6-round picks on Wednesday, the week before week one, to have some sort of injury that pops up. We don't like to see that. Let's monitor it over the next couple of days. What I will say is Watson and Dobbs are both having injuries that they're dealing with. Jaden Reed could actually be a good start if they both end up being out. Aaron Jones is going to be fantastic. Yep, I have him really high in my rankings this week. Great matchup for him. And then in deep leagues, I know some people out there are crazy and they have 2 tight end leagues. Luke Musgrave, maybe you can start him. Terry McLaurin at practice, and good news for him all throughout the week. I think he plays. Is there anything else? Zeke, very good chance to become the goal line back. I don't want to get into that because every time I talk about my concerns with Ramondre, people clown me in the chat and tell me I'm an idiot. So we'll find out. David Montgomery likely to be the goal line back. One of my guy, David Montgomery. Good to see. Jamison Crowder back at practice. That's good. I think that's pretty much all the news. Jordan Addison listed as a backup. I mean, that's not a surprise. We've seen that a lot for rookie wide receivers heading into week 1. And another player like Ramondre that I've been clowned on a lot in the last month because I'm lower on them than consensus is DeAndre Swift. I'm prepared to say I'm wrong on DeAndre Swift. If I am wrong, I'll hold my hand up and I'll take ownership. However, if the Swift truthers out there, I've been waiting for the depth chart to come out. This can't be good for them to see. Every depth chart, I mean, let's look at it right now. Eagles depth chart. Even on their official website, they have 4 starters on their official website. It's been a concern of mine all offseason. Who the hell is going to be the guy? Maybe it's a complete 3-way share. This is what their depth chart currently looks like on their own website. Gainwell, Penny, Scott, Swift. That's not to say that DeAndre Swift is last. My concern has been I don't want to play around with this backfield at all. I don't want a part in it. If anything, maybe Penny super late or Gainwell super late. But, I mean, yeah, we've seen drafts, Badaki, where Swift has gone as early as like the 4th round, the 5th round. And I think we both would have agreed that was too high. But I'm prepared. Like, if DeAndre Swift goes out and puts up 30 points, I'll hold up my hands. I'm wrong. I was wrong.
Yeah.
But
I think it just depends on
all the signs that I was concerned about have not been alleviated, is what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. Definitely a guy that we both avoided. I don't have any stock of DeAndre Swift in any of our redraft leagues, not even our home leagues. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with Swifty. He can definitely make an impact in the air if this team starts throwing in the air, but that is not the history with this team. So we'll see what that looks like coming into week 1.
Agreed. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to answering your week 1 start sit questions. If you're new, here's how it will work. We will go in order. We'll answer the questions in order. The only exception to that is if, excuse me, I don't want to burp into the mic, is if you drop a super chat. If you drop a super chat of any amount, we will prioritize your question and we will get to it before all the rest. So
that is right.
Drop a super chat if you want your question answered straight away. But the first question we have is from Brennan. Fuck you, Brennan. Fuck you.
Brennan.
If you know that movie, greatest of all time. I could put that movie on at any moment. Flex spot, Shaheed, Thielen, or Lazard. And my answer would probably, let me double check my rankings.
First off, Thielen got hurt in practice this week.
Did he?
I think the last 24 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
I think we're going Lazard there.
I'm pretty sure he got injured. But yes, I would be going Lazard as well. Wide receiver 2, primetime game. Surely they have to have a thing for Garrett Wilson. Maybe Lazard gets a lot of work in there with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, sounds like you're in a tough spot, so hopefully it works out. What's up, Sam? All right, 10-team Superflex, half PPR, non-tight end premium. If Kelsey is out tomorrow, should I start Noah Gray or Chig? How I'm approaching it is I'm not starting Noah Gray personally under any situation. Again, happy to be wrong. We don't have a crystal ball, right? So we'll be wrong on some stuff. But I imagine if Travis Kelsey is gone, you don't keep the same game plan. You're not funneling everything through your tight end anymore. Thank you so much for the sub, King.
Thank you.
You're no longer funneling everything through the tight end. Your game plan changes. You'll probably spread it out more. You'll probably have 4 wide receiver sets a lot. And I just don't think Noah Gray is a 1-for-1 replacement. He's a fine desperation start. However, I would lean Chigakonkwo there, and I'm leaning almost every other streaming tight end. I love Higbee. Tyler Higbee's the start of the week. I would rather have Cole Kmet than Noah Gray. That list goes on and on. So, yeah. How about you?
Yeah. This one's tough. I've been thinking about it over the past couple hours, like I guess 24, 48 hours. If Travis Kelsey doesn't play, Noah Gray may not get all the targets that Travis Kelsey was supposed to get, but I think he will have a comfortable floor compared to what I am expecting.
Sure.
Hypothetically, somebody versus a Chig. I would agree. All the other tight ends are better. You think of Cole Kmet, You think of Tyler Higbee, et cetera, et cetera. I would rather go with them. But I think in this specific scenario, I might be willing to take the chance with Noah Gray over Chig. Chig's playing against the Saints, who do have a decent defense. So I'm a little bit skeptical here, but I will take the chance on Noah Gray now that I'm thinking about this one.
Yeah, I was actually going to look at splits. I don't think Kelce
There's
has
no
missed
history.
much time.
I think in the last, I saw a stat in the last like 9 or 7 years, something like that. He's missed like 3 games, something ridiculous like that.
Thanks
So
for
we
the
don't
super
have
chat, C-Dub. We'll get to that in 1 second.
we don't have the history with Travis Kelce being out without Patrick Mahomes or what that looks like. You know,
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough.
So he had one game since Noah Gray has been drafted. One game that he has started without Travis Kelce since he was drafted. In that game, he had 3 points, 2 receptions, and 2 targets. Now, he's a different player, right? He's grown. He's not a superstar like Travis Kelce is. So, I don't know. I mean, at your own risk, I typically just lean towards like, you know, it's not like a handcuff thing where it's like, oh, the running back is going to get touches no matter what. You know, it's like they had no plans on using Noah Gray that way. You know, like what other team had a tight end that they already planned on using? I don't know. We'll find out. Tyron All, 12-team PPR. We will get to the super chat here right after this one. My bad. 12-team PPR. Which 2 receivers do I start with? Lamb, Watson, McLaurin, Tony, Kirk, Burks, or Judy? Which 2 receivers do I start with Lamb?
Well, if Watson plays, you start Watson, I would say, but I might be a little bit skeptical there. If Terry plays, you start Terry. I think the 2, if they do play, it's Watson and Terry. Now, if Watson doesn't play and Terry does play, I'm going Kirk and Terry. But if Watson and Terry don't play, I'm going Kirk and another one if Jerry plays. There's too many question marks on who's going to be playing and not playing here.
Marks, man.
You know,
that's one of those questions we need to answer like Saturday night, because we will be live on Saturday night for you guys to answer all your start-sit questions. And yeah, that's very tough. Hey guys, Sky or Burks in half PPR. Love Burks, honorary my guy this year, but if Kelce is out, I am wheels up for Sky Moore.
Yeah. Let's go to the super chat here. I completely agree. Sky Moore, 100%.
C-Dub, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, PPR, bench 1, London, Dotson, Gibson, James Conner. I think we would both agree in benching Antonio Gibson. Start London, start James Conner, sit Antonio Gibson. Am I correct there?
Yeah, I'd agree. I like Gibson's matchup, but I think the opportunities will be greater for those names that you mentioned. So C-Dub, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Appreciate you. Again, guys, if you want your questions answered straight away, drop a super chat, and we will prioritize your question. Otherwise, we will go in order. What's up, Steven? We starting McKinnon without Kelce? Yes. If Kelce does not play, McKinnon becomes a very legit flex option, especially thinking about how they utilized McKinnon in the red zone last year. Think about it. When they were in shotgun in the red zone last year, the Chiefs, it was typically Jet McKinnon back there and pretty efficient. Before Jet McKinnon, it was Clyde.
Yeah.
Jet was probably a little bit better at that role. But these little trick plays, I mean, it takes one catch for him to be a good start in the red zone. So if Kelce doesn't play, at the moment, I'm projecting Kelce not to play. That could change. But at the moment, I just released my top 36 running back rankings, and I have Jerick McKinnon as my RB33. I'd rather start Jerick McKinnon than Samaje Perine, A.J. Dillon, Charbonnet, Deion Jackson. So hopefully that gives you some clues as to where I am with that.
Yeah, I mean, he has the upside. You expect some dump off passes. I think this is going to be, committee this week. I don't think it's going to be Isaiah, Clyde, or McKinnon. But if you had to lean on somebody getting the pass opportunity, you can easily see McKinnon leading this backfield in the air with targets.
Yeah, I would agree. Shout out to the 70+ people watching the stream. Do us a favor, guys. Go ahead and smash that like button. Simple way to support the stream and to help the channel grow. As we give you some help and some advice, maybe you can do us a favor and smash the like button. Okay, Hill. Oh, hi. What's up, Diego? Laporta versus Okonkwo rest of season. Yeah, this is a tough question. Very tough question. I think it's just my personal opinion that the DeAndre Hopkins signing the reaction and the drop in Chigakonko's ADP this offseason, I would say it was a little bit too drastic. Chigakonko did not, like, he wasn't awesome last year, Badaki, because of opportunity. He was awesome because of efficiency. So I think I lean Okonkwo still, just because I don't typically trust a rookie tight end, but I could see that going either way.
Yeah, I can see it going either way. I mean, I like Laporta's opportunity in the first 6 weeks, and then we have to see what J-Mo's going to be and how he's going to impact this offense and the targets from everyone else around. It's easy to say Sam Laporta right now, in my opinion, because of the first 6 weeks without J-Mo, but it can go either way here. I think they would have similar fantasy finishes personally. You know, they're both of them are projected to be their third options on their team, or maybe even fourth. You know, you think of Treylon, D-Hop, and Henry, and you think of Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra, J-Mo, right? So it can go either way.
Yeah. Should I start Calvin Ridley or DJ Moore? I'm rocking with Calvin Ridley. Love his matchup this week versus the Colts. The Colts are extremely inexperienced in their secondary. Calvin Ridley, my wide receiver 13 here in week 1. My wide receiver 11 before in pre-draft rankings. I think Badaki would agree.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley for sure. You start him.
Mighty says, I just panic picked Tua in the 8th in a league. My kid was screaming and I came back with 4 seconds.
Oh, no.
Oh, Mighty Booch, that's tough. Space Ghost. Traded Cup/Ayuk for Waddle. Did I jump the gun? Here's what I'll say, Badaki. If Cup comes back... All right, let's just put a timeline on this. If Cup comes back from week 5 onwards and he is a top 5 wide receiver, then you lost this trade.
No doubt.
If Cup continually deals with hamstring injuries throughout the year and he's never really healthy, you won this trade. It's one of those examples where we can't really tell you who's going to win. The chips are going to have to fall wherever they may at this point.
Yeah, completely agree with you. Yeah, 100%. Steven says, how much do you drop on Noah Gray? I think we answered this question in the other stream. My tactic is if your fab resets, I'm happy to drop 25, 30 fab. But if you really need a tight end and he's the only one there, put 100. Spend all your fab, however much you need to get him on your team. If Travis Kelce is going to miss out, if you are in a desperation. But that's all based off of if your fab is going to reset, Steven.
Yeah, and
that's what I would do.
Just to clarify for those people out there, in a lot of, but I think that only happens in dynasty leagues. So I think we need to be like careful saying that.
Maybe.
Yeah, only really in dynasty leagues does fab typically reset. In redraft leagues, fab typically that's all you get throughout the entire year. So what I would say is I'm assuming that your fab won't reset in answering this question. And to me, I would spend $0. Like, I'd pick them up for sure if you have a free spot, but there's no way I'm spending any sort of fab that I keep throughout the year, because after week 1, after week 2, after week 3, there's going to be some extremely valuable players out there, and you want full beans in your fab machine, if that makes sense.
Full beans.
Ian says, full PPR. Should I start Kirk, Ayuk, or DeAndre Swift? I would lean Ayuk here, but it's very close.
Yeah, it is very close. At the moment, I'm going Ayuk as well. Christian Kirk is a close second there. Give me Ayuk.
DJ Moore, Kenneth Walker, or Jahan Dotson. I'll go DJ Moore.
DJ, yep.
Jamal Williams or Pacheco at this moment, assuming that Travis Kelce will not play. That gives everyone more opportunities, right? So I would go Pacheco if Kelce doesn't play. If Kelce plays, I'll go Jamal.
Agreed. WG. What's up, y'all? I have Kelce, Cooper Kupp, JT in my home league right now. So GG's week 1. Absolute GG's. We have somebody that did that as well.
Yeah.
And
I'm facing them.
Unlucky. Yeah. Zach is facing them. So
shout out
unlucky.
Shout out to Lukey Raj. If Luke Rogers ends up watching the stream later, this is our lineup week 1. He has Deion Jackson. Okay, so essentially the players he has right now that are questionable: Kelce. I'm pretty sure he's already put Kupp on his bench. Kupp. He has Jonathan Taylor, which you don't see right here, on his IR. So man is struggling. I mean, he's going to start Zach Charbonnet, it looks like.
Well, he has
Deion Jackson, Miles Sanders.
He has. Okay, yeah, he's starting Cam Akers, Calvin. Oh, that's you. That's your team. Kirk Thuggins. Okay, I was.
No. My team is Tua, Infinity, and beyond. I got Joe Burrow, Bijan, Tony, Sky, Amari, Pat Fryermuth, Tyler Lockett, Devonta Smith, Justin Tucker, and that Washington defense. But anyway, so
it's unlucky.
It really isn't that uncommon for people to be in a really tough spot week 1 because a lot of people would have drafted with the way that ADP was set up. Travis Kelce, Cooper Kupp, Jonathan Taylor.
100%. So
yeah,
it's just
thank you for the sub, Eddie.
Unfortunate.
All right, next question.
Caleb said, I traded Kelce for A.J. Brown and David Njoku.
I like that.
I got him in the second round before he was injured, so I thought it was a good trade. Yeah, I like A.J. Brown and getting Njoku. That makes sense.
Yeah, Njoku's a fine starter too, so that's a good trade.
Yeah, Ben says,
go ahead.
Yeah, if Judy plays, Judy or Kirk, you have to go Judy if he does play. But it's all based on reports there, Ben. If reports come out saying Jerry's going to be limited, you start Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing, and that's another question we can answer as we get closer to Sunday. On Saturday night, we'll be live there, hopefully with more information.
I think overall in a vacuum, I'm going to lean Kirk because I really didn't expect Judy to be ready week 1 with a hamstring. I could easily see if he's going to push it, a re-injury. Like, 100%. If you own Jerry Judy, you actually like, this sounds crazy, but you don't want him to play. If I own Jerry Judy, I don't want you to play week 1, dude, because I don't trust that you're actually ready. You've had a lot of examples of re-injury in the past as well. I think I lean Kirk there, even though Judy is my guy this year before the injury.
Yeah.
Stevenson or Montgomery, I'm going Ramondre, even though I do love Monty this week.
Yeah, completely agree.
Steven says, not looking to start Jordan Love backup targets week 1. Yeah.
Look, I mean,
we mentioned that if Watson and Dobbs are out, and let's say people have a Cooper Kupp in their lineup or Jerry and those people don't play, then it's not the craziest thing ever to say Jaden Reed could be a fine option.
I would even, if you have defense in your league and they're both those guys are out, Bears defense could be special.
Nice.
Yeah, could be.
Christian Watson, Jahan Dotson, or Mike Williams full PPR. That's a good question, man. You've got a very, very tough situation there.
These are all in the same tier for me.
Same.
I would say if Christian Watson is healthy, I would easily beat Christian Watson.
Same.
But if not, I'm going Jahan Dotson. I think that's where we see different. You might go Mike.
If not, I'm going Mike Williams, assuming Terry plays. If Terry doesn't play, then Jahan.
I'm starting Jahan with our route, Cherry.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to the 80+ people watching the stream, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Do us a favor. Go ahead and smash that like button. Just a simple way for you to help the channel grow, to help the stream grow, to help us reach more people. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day and ready for football. We're extremely excited as well. Just so you know how this is going to go. Drop any question that you want in the chat. If you want it prioritized and answered straight away, then drop a super chat and we'll get to yours straight away. You'll skip the queue. Should I pick up Cordero Patterson? No, probably not.
No.
There's other players that have higher upside, I think, out there on the waiver wire.
Unlucky.
Although I will say the Joker position is pretty sick. I don't know if you've been seeing that. On the depth chart, Atlanta's official depth chart, he's not listed as a running back or a wide receiver. He's listed under the depth chart as J. And head coach came out and talked about that they invented a new position for him as the Joker. So, Mighty Booch says, in regards to saying JSN is going to play, who knows what Pete Carroll means by that? Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I hear you.
Romeo Dobbs is a nice sleeper for sure. He did not practice. What's up, Rocket? Second flex, Samaje, Williams, Burks, Collins. To me, if Javonte Williams is limited, my answer would be Samaje.
Agreed.
If not, I'll probably go Jamal Williams based off of the volume. While Treylon Burks is my guy, I am not starting him if I have clear better options here in week 1.
Yeah, completely agree there with Zach. On that, we answer Stevenson from Montgomery. I'm starting London and Monty at flex, or would you switch to Kirk and Dotson? I would switch to London and Dotson personally, but it just depends. I don't know about what you're thinking there.
If Chris Jones doesn't play, I feel very good about David Montgomery, and the way things are trending, I imagine Kelce doesn't play. Chris Jones doesn't play, and I also imagine that Terry does, which would lead me to leave Montgomery and London in there. Jared says, which running back in Indy do you want? None, but if I had to, none. Zach Moss. Deion Jackson week 1. Because we don't think Zach Moss is playing, right?
No, I mean, right now he's trending towards as if he could play. Okay. But you kind of expect him to maybe be limited or, in question for week 1. It just depends on those reports. That Saturday night stream is going to be very crucial with all the information that's going to be coming out, personally. So keep that an eye out. G16 was in a good spot with Andrews and Chris Watson, but now not looking too hot. Andrews looks like he's back at practice, unless there's something out. Philip says Brian Robinson or Jamal Williams for my flex. I think we'll both say Brian Robinson.
Yeah,
shout out to my guy out in Greece, Yanni Antetokounmpo. Shout out if you're not from Greece, and I apologize. Pick one for flex and full PPR. Stevenson, Sutton, Godwin, Dotson. I think we'll both go Stevenson there.
Yeah,
potentially.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Thomas, start B-Rob or Pacheco this week as my RB2. Got Bijan. I think we will both say Brian Robinson. A great matchup this week.
Agreed. Yeah. By the way, guys, Brian Robinson faces the Cardinals this week at home. Thank you for the super chat, Cole. Last year, the Cardinals gave up the 3rd most points per game to running backs in fantasy, and they only got worse as a team. So, I mean, Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson are great spot starts. If they were facing like the Cowboys, probably not, but this is a different situation here. We do have a super chat. As you guys know, we do prioritize super chats on the live stream. So, Cole, we'll answer your question straight away. It's not a question. It's just a statement. It's a proclamation. Amon-Ra going for a 30-piece McNugget tomorrow.
A little extra sauce on the side too, baby. Talk it up.
Yeah, I mean, what is your go-to sauce for nuggets, by the way? Chicken nuggets.
For me, it's sweet and sour sauce. I've been a sweet and sour sauce kid all my life, ever since sweet and sour sauce became a thing.
Yeah, iPad kid vibes. What's up, King? Who should I start week 1? Half PPR, Jamal Williams or David Montgomery? I'm going David Montgomery. Yep, we're on the same page. What's up, Rolando? Kelsey replacement, Laporta or Juwan? I would go Juwan.
This is crazy. I don't know. This one's really tough. I believe in Laporta week 1 with J-Mo out. So I would go Laporta, but it is very close there, Ronaldo.
Yeah, I think typically for me, I want rookie tight ends to prove it to me before I start them myself.
For sure.
But
it's
I
tough.
hear where
it's
you're
a tough
coming
one.
from. Eric says, do I take Pollard or Chubb pick 6 if Hill doesn't fall to me? I don't think, like, in every draft I've been in, I have a lot of Tony Pollard this year in my leagues. A lot. He was my RB4, but I could always get him in the 2nd round. So if you're asking me in the 1st round, pick 6, I don't imagine you need to take Pollard or Chubb that high. I
mean,
to me,
I would agree.
Pick 6 is where I would go, like a Diggs, a CeeDee Lamb, a Bijan, if Bijan's there, and then see what comes back to me in the 2nd round. Because in most scenarios, those guys are coming back to you in the 2nd round.
Yeah, I know Travis Kelce is injured, which I don't think is going to be a long injury. I'm still taking Travis Kelce if he's available to me at the 6 personally. It may be a risk right now.
I don't think I would do that now.
Yeah, it may be a risk, but I think if he is going to play week 1, then I think he'll be fine long term, and I will still be taking Travis Kelce.
That's true. We'll find out.
That's what I would
do. Mosh, thank you for the super chat, man. As you guys know, we do answer super chat straight away. So if you want to skip the queue, that's how you do it. Mosh, James Conner or Raheem Mostert? And I know this sounds like an easy pick, but it is. It's a much closer decision than I believe people realize. It really, really is. In my rankings, I have Raheem Mostert as my RB24. I have James Conner as my RB22. I would not be surprised, however, if Mostert outscores Conner. He's in the better matchup, a matchup with more projected points, 2 better offenses, potential shootout, right? You got Hill, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Tua on one side, Herbert, Keenan, Eckler on the other side. One of my starts of the week is Raheem Mostert. However, I would probably lean James Conner here myself.
I would as well. In a bad offense, you kind of expect this team to play from behind. I guess in a similar light, you have a shootout with Raheem, projected shootout with Raheem, and then you have James Conner projected to be playing from behind. So if the Commanders can go up 21-0, you expect screens, dump off passes, whatever to get the ball rolling with Josh Dobbs, who is officially being named the starter for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah. Hey guys, by the way, if you do want some reliable weekly rankings, over on the Flock Fantasy website, I release a database every week where you guys can see my exact rankings. You can see, posted this about a day ago, over 1,100 views and downloads already, so you can see a lot of people are taking advantage of it over on the Flock Fantasy website. But I'll give you a little sneak preview. In these rankings, I have over 300 players ranked at the quarterback, running back, and wide receiver position. You guys should now be able to see this. Sorry, here on the Flock Fantasy website, over 1,000 people already downloaded it. 300 plus players in this database, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and defenses. I give start and sits at each position as well, and it consistently updates with new information. So you can see a little preview here. I personally, if I'm projecting right now that Kelce won't play, which is why I have put Mahomes behind a couple of these other names. If you have Mahomes, you're going to start him, obviously, but it's been a great resource for people. If you want access to it, go ahead and use our promo code LAND when signing up to the Flock Fantasy website. There's a direct link in the chat, and there's also a direct link in the description. Again, I will be doing this every week. So if you're like, is this guy going to do it every week? Yes, every week I'll have it up there for you. It will be worth your time. And last thing I'll say, we'll get back to the questions. There's an incredible resource that we offer for you guys over on the Flock Fantasy website. If you choose the Mother Flocker tier, we offer something called the Fantasy Hotline, which is a direct DM to us to ask us any questions at any moment. So keep that in mind. That's an option for you. DM us on Discord if you sign up. And if you have any questions, let us know in the chat. But let's go ahead and let's get back to the next question. Yeah.
It says also pick one as stash: Jaden Reed, Hodgins, Nakua, Mingo. I think we will go Jaden Reed with the question marks at Watson and
that is a really good question.
I think Reed and Hodgins are really close for me.
For me, Mingo is actually the most intriguing. Because there's a lot of unknowns. It's a rookie quarterback, rookie wide receiver. They came in camp together. They were at rookie camp together. And there's a lot of injury-prone wide receivers on that team, which we have seen. Shark, Adam Thielen. So assuming that Watson or Dobbs plays, just need one of them, I'm probably picking up Mingo myself.
That's fair.
All right, Fern says lost Cup and probably Watson. So which two wide receivers would be best to plug in? Elijah Moore, Bateman, Hodgins, Mingo. I would probably go Elijah Moore and Rashad Bateman.
Exactly. That's exactly where I would go, half PPR. Zachary said full PPR, trade Lamb for Bijan. I mean, I think that all depends on what your team looks like.
Yeah. I would say right now they're pretty evenly valued, so it depends on the needs of your team.
Yeah, completely agree. Javonte Williams or David Montgomery. I think we'll both go Monty there this week, coming into week one, regardless. Mighty Booch, Christian Watson or Mike Williams. Well, if Watson plays, you playing. If not, Mike Williams for the both of us. I think that's easy for us. Next one, should I trade Jerry for Tyler Lockett? I already have Geno Smith and Axe Metcalf. Geno Smith and have Metcalf, I'm assuming. I have the stack, but I'm not sure. So you want to get more stacks, are you saying?
He's saying, like, okay, I already have Dak and Geno. Is it wise to add Metcalf to that? And, like, overall, I would say no, not really ideal.
Yeah.
I just want a little more variance in my lineups each week. But, Joe says, I usually draft teams with clear starters and clear backups. Love it. Fang says, who to start at RB2, Najee or Mostert? I'm going Najee, but it's very close. It really is closer than people think for me.
Yeah, 100%. UT, start one full PPR, Lockett, Dotson, London. I'm going Lockett there.
Yes.
Have Lockett over.
Yes, I agree.
Over Dotson for me.
Yes, same question. No need to put the question in double times, guys. We'll go in order. So I mean, you can put the question once if you want to answer straight away. Super chat's there. Colin, I think, is the next question here. What's up, guys? PPR 3 flexes between Jamal Williams, Juju, and Hollywood. I'm rocking with Hollywood. I know it's Josh Dobbs, but in PPR, I'd rather have a Hollywood there myself.
Yeah, I'm going Hollywood. I think don't love anyone there, but Hollywood's the one I would go.
Yeah. Mighty Booch says, looks like you're still a lot higher on Zeke than consensus, Zach. Talk to me about it. Yes, I made a whole video about it, and kind of like, look, here's the deal. What I've started to realize, Badaki, is that people don't care if you're online. Like, they'll just say whatever because they'll probably never see you in person. People have very strong opinions about Ramondre Stevenson. Like, if someone owns Ramondre Stevenson and they believe in him, and you bring a video suggesting at all that you're slightly concerned, you'll likely be clowned in the comments as if like you have no idea what you're talking about. So instead of me going on a 5 to 10 minute spiel, I will tell you guys a video where I talk about Ramondre Stevenson, and I talk specifically about how efficient Zeke Elliott has been on the goal line and how inefficient Ramondre has been. Not only that, I also talk about the outlier target share, market target share that Ramondre had last year. So if you want to hear the reasons why, this is the video here. It's called Sell Before Week 1. And I will go ahead and put it in the chat. There's a take on Ramondre Stevenson there. I stand by what I said. A lot of people don't agree, and they make it very clear in the comments, and that's completely okay with me. We'll find out. Yep. But anyway, instead of wasting 10 minutes, it's all in that video.
100%. A lot of people don't like when they disagree with you, so they fight in the comments, but it's all love.
Thank you for the donation, guys. We'll get to that one second. Michael says it's because people prefer to hear someone validate or confirm their thoughts rather than differing opinion. Yeah, and we've realized that for sure over the last years. I've just always found it so interesting, Badaki, because I feel like you would go to someone and watch their content hoping not for it to be an echo chamber, hoping to have different perspectives, because I feel like if we all have the same perspective, what's the, like, do you just want to hear the same thing over and over and over? Like, hopefully you'd be open to like, okay, maybe this guy's wrong, or maybe some of the points that he brings have some validation to it, right? Like, I don't know, like maybe I should listen.
I think it's the way people actually respond in comments. It's like, are you serious? Did you see what Ramondre did last year? Are you stupid?
Yeah.
It's like,
this guy's a clown.
I mean, do your research. Like, no shit, my guy. I mean, did you not watch the video? Yeah. We bought the research. But yeah.
Anyway, we have some super chats, so we'll get to those. We'll always prioritize super chats. Jake, thank you so much for donating. Appreciate you, man. Man, it's getting hot here in Australia.
It's summertime.
It's getting hot, man.
Ooh, I cannot wait.
All right, PPR, Rachaad White, James Cook, Addison for a second flex. Okay, so let's answer that question first. Rachaad White, James Cook, Addison. I'm going Rachaad White.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex leagues, starting DJ Moore, Adams, Pollard, Gibbs, Sutton, first flex. Okay, so let's answer that question. If Jerry Jeudy plays, are you playing Courtland Sutton over Jordan Addison, even though Jordan Addison is listed as a 3? Because I think that's. Let's give him some thoughts there.
I would personally. Excuse me. If this is what I would say. If Jerry comes out, Sean Payton says 100%, he's getting all the workload, we can do it. But if he's going to be on a snap count or limited, or the chances of re-aggravation, which obviously that is a higher chance if he does play week 1, I feel more confident starting Jordan Addison, which feels like a safer floor.
Did you mean to say Sutton?
Sorry, Courtland Sutton. Excuse me.
Okay.
Courtland Sutton, which seems like a safer floor. If Jerry Jeudy is going to be limited.
Okay, yeah, so roll with what you're thinking right now unless new news comes out, but we would confidently say Rachaad White, especially if it's a PPR format. We don't love Rachaad White for what he does on the ground. We love Rachaad White for what he does through the air, and we also love the history of Baker Mayfield dumping the ball off to his running backs. So yeah, thank you so much for the super chat. Again, guys, if you want your question answered straight away, drop a super chat. And Steven, thank you so much for the donation. He just wanted to donate for the Ramondre stands out there. So
it's Steven's son, you know.
Yeah.
Bulk it up.
Yeah.
All right, where did we leave off here? Brady says, "Love you guys' show. I'm a new subscriber. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for subscribing."
Thanks, Brady.
Should I trade Josh Allen and Miles Sanders for Lamar and Etienne? I'm okay with that trade.
Yeah, I'd rather have Lamar and Etienne there.
I'm okay with that trade.
Pretty strongly.
You tier up in the running back room where not too big of a difference in the quarterback room. Brady says James Conner or Mike Williams. I think we answered this.
I don't think we have. This is a tough one. This is a really tough one.
I thought. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I feel like I guess it depends. At the flex spot, I like to start wide receivers.
Okay.
But I'm going to be starting James Conner this week with the matchup.
I think I go James too, purely because of volume. But that's a close one.
Agreed. It is close.
Y'all like trading Kirk for T. Higgins? Yes. Give me T. Higgins in every format, regardless of scoring. Yes. What's up, Crime Lord? He says, happy kickoff eve. Yes, sir. I can't... Wait, so, yeah, this just clicked. We're watching football tomorrow.
This time tomorrow. Well, technically it's later.
This time tomorrow, we'll be watching the first quarter.
I think it starts at 12 o'clock for us, actually. It's a little bit weird.
Because
they have it has all the announcements and it has all that.
Okay. My bad.
I could be wrong.
Okay.
Or 10:20. So yeah, maybe you're right. I'm looking at it right now. 10:20 it says.
By the way,
which is crazy.
A little easy plug that we can put in here. If you guys want someone to watch the games with, we have a live stream that we've been doing we started doing it last year. We call it Talk It Up. And essentially during Thursday night games, sometimes Monday night as well, we go live and we just talk about the game. We reflect on it. We talk about fantasy before, projections before. So if you want just a community to watch the game with, we can't show you the game because it's actually illegal and our stream will be taken down and we might be arrested and all that nonsense. But if you want someone to watch the game with, we watch the games. We comment on them and you can hang out in the chat. We can talk about things. You can see our reactions. So join us on Thursday night if you want a community to hang out while you're watching the game. Again, we call it Talk It Up. You can see this is kind of a little bit what it looks like. We're kind of talking with you guys. You're talking in the chat. We're watching the game. We're giving projections and predictions. So yeah, feel free to join if you want. I'm going to go 28. Chase knows. Chase is an OG. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You remember when Tim said that?
Tim said, I'm going 28. Yeah.
We had a friend on our live stream and we were all giving predictions for a game. It was before Thursday night. And we were like, everyone's like, okay, yeah, 21-24, Bucks win. And we went to our friend and he was like, yeah, I'm going to go 28. And like, he just doesn't know football. 28? So he was like, it was funny anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Classic.
He doesn't understand that there was two teams. Next super chat that just came in is from Stephen Drake. She says, would you take Bijan over Chubb this year? Very close. I don't think you can go wrong. In my rankings, yes, I do have Bijan ranked ahead of Nick Chubb. Extremely excited about his talent, seeing him on the field, how he will be used in multiple different areas. Not only is Jahmyr Gibbs an elite pass catcher, so is Bijan Robinson. That's not talked about enough. He's going to be the best friend to Desmond Ridder on dump-offs, on screen passes. And if you look historically at running backs who have top 8 first-round draft capital, they've been fantastic for fantasy. So I don't think you can go wrong, but I do lean Bijan.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong either. I currently have Chubb over Bijan in my rankings, but they're really close. So honestly, I don't think it's a wrong answer. You can choose whoever you want.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
All right. I think the next question is from Cole. Again, guys, if you want your questions answered straight away, Super Chat is there for you. But Cole says, what's up, boys? Happy to be back. Should I ride with Pat the Dragon against San Francisco or Jake Fergie? Love Jake Ferguson. He is a stash must-have on your rosters. But you're rocking with Pat Freiermuth here in week 1.
Yeah. You have to. Yeah. You have to. As much as we like Jake. JSC, should I start Deshaun Watson or Anthony Richardson, 1 QB? I'm going Deshaun Watson. I'm pretty sure Zach will do the same. Eddie, Mike Williams, or Deontay Johnson. I'm going Deontay. I'm not sure about you.
I'm going Mike. I love that matchup. Love that game. Potential shootout. I think Pittsburgh could be more low scoring, a lot more defense focused. And I have a feeling that if Deontay doesn't score a touchdown, you might be disappointed. We'll find out.
We'll see. Ian, should I drop Tyler Boyd and snag Van Jefferson? Feel like Boyd ain't getting too many touches as a true 3, but if Kupp comes back, Van can be obsolete. I think there's a pathway for Van Jefferson. I would pick up Van Jefferson over Tyler Boyd because
Same.
he could be the wide receiver one.
Yeah.
But it just all depends when Cooper Kupp comes back.
Think
But yes,
about
I
the
would
amount of
pick him up.
injuries that T. Higgins and Jamar Chase had last year, and you really weren't even sure if you wanted to start Tyler Boyd then. Like, the best case scenario, if you have Tyler Boyd, is players get injured, but even then, you didn't really want to start him all that bad. He's a much better best ball player, so yeah, I pick up Van.
Yeah. If Christian Watson's next question, if Christian Watson misses, who should I pivot to? Marvin Mims, Mingo, Zay Flowers, Kenneth Gainwell.
Jesus,
Oh my
that's tough.
goodness, this is nasty.
Mims if Judy doesn't play.
Exactly.
If Judy does
But-
play, probably Mingo?
I mean-
I don't know, dude. I don't know how to answer that question. I would probably go Mingo.
I would
with all the
probably go
injuries in
that as
Carolina.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on the injuries in Carolina. If Adam Thielen misses, if Shark is not playing, it feels like it's going to be Mingo. But if all those guys do play, I feel like Kenneth Gainwell can be sneaky, but that's also a massive, massive risk.
Yeah, agreed.
Starting him. So I don't like any of those guys. So sorry about that. Hopefully that helps. Gavin,
Hopefully, yeah.
hopefully that helps. Start 2 PPR. B. Rob Burks, Addison, Hollywood, McKinnon. I'm going B. Rob, and I'm personally going Addison over Hollywood.
Yeah,
Which,
I'm going
it's
Hollywood
tough.
there.
Yeah.
He's the
I
clear
figured you
number
would go there.
one. I've talked about this before on previous streams, but
Mm-hmm.
I like to err on not starting rookie wide receivers if I can. Addison's a my guy this year. I think he's going to be fantastic, but I don't have high expectations for rookie wide receivers in week one.
Yeah.
Look, last year,
Definitely good.
neither Garrett Wilson or Chris Olave scored over 10 points. Even Justin Jefferson's historic rookie season, the first 2 weeks of the season, he averaged 6 points in PPR. So if I can help it, I'm going to wait and see on the rookie wide receivers, even though I love all of them. So yeah.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, not agree, but I hear you. I hear that thought process. Rowan, I'm stuck between starting either Zay Flowers, Elijah Moore, or Michael Thomas, leaning towards Zay because of the Texas matchup. I'm personally going Elijah Moore. I'm not sure where Zach will go here with Zay. And Michael
That's actually a
Thomas.
really, really good question. Thanks for the super chat. We'll get to that
Thank
in a
you so
second.
much.
So you're leaning Zay Flowers, you said, or you're leaning
I'm
Elijah.
Elijah Moore, yeah.
Oh, that's truly a toss up for me. Right now, if I follow my rankings, it would be Zay Flowers.
Okay.
Because when I think about what statements these teams are trying to make, I think the Ravens are trying to make a very specific statement in the first half of this game, which would be, we're going to throw the ball a lot, right? They've been saying it all offseason. We've been hearing it. I think they're going to come out and try and do it. But again, rookie wide receiver, in a sense, though, you don't really have that much confidence in Elijah because while he's not a rookie, it's a new system, and we haven't seen him be a good start for most of the time. So, yeah, that's a tough one. I think I would go Zay there, but it is very tough. Hey, shout out to the 98 people watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hopefully you've had a great
All
day.
love, yeah. All
Do us a
love.
favor. Go ahead and smash that like button. Just a simple way to help the channel grow and help support us. Tigre says 32% exposure on underdog. With Travis Kelce, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, that is tough.
Cedric says, Cup out. Everyone moves up. Who do I promote from bench to flex?
It depends on who's on your bench.
I think
flex,
the
bro.
comment is down below. He says Evan Ingram, Tony, or OBJ. Probably going Evan Ingram there.
Yeah. I don't love starting 2 tight ends there, but yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like Evan Ingram is the best one.
Okay.
Personally.
We do have a super chat, Crime Lord. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. Again, guys, if you want your questions answered straight away, that's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Start 2, Monty, Javonte, Van Jefferson. Assuming Javonte is going to play and be fine, you go Monty and Javonte for me.
Exactly.
Van Jefferson is more of a a deeper desperation start. If you have the likes of, a Adam Thielen, Darnell Mooney, Zay Jones, Rondale Moore, then I would go Van Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
I
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. I think the next one is from Bizop. James Cook, Herbert.
Sorry. Yeah,
I think
James
we already
Cook
answered that
or Ramondre-
question, I believe.
Oh, did we?
We've already
Okay.
answered this question, yeah.
Say less. Say less.
James Cook, Herbert, or Breece Hall as RB2. I would lean, as crazy as it sounds, I think Khalil Herbert in week 1
Yeah, I'm going Khalil Herbert.
my option.
I love James Cook.
Ideally, if you can avoid the Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook and Michael Carter 3-headed backfield that we have been told we'll see, it's good to maybe avoid it until we see what will happen.
Yeah, 100%. So I like Herbert there. James Cook against the Jets, a tough defense.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for the sub, Mike.
Agree. Thank you so much, man. Jacob said Payne says Javonte is going to have a big role week 1, so hopefully that is good. Jacob, Steve said Schultz or Kincaid. I think we're both going Schultz there, but I won't be surprised Kincaid has a better game.
I would lean Schultz, but yeah, we'll find out for sure if Schultz is going to take a while, or if Kincaid is going to take a while to ramp up, like we typically see, or if it's full go week 1. We'll find out. Thoughts on Kyle Pitts? Should I look on the waiver wire for someone? I mean, if you have Kyle Pitts, you should start him. I don't imagine there's a better waiver wire option myself.
Yeah, I would agree. You definitely start him. Walker or Dobbins, this is very close. I think both of these guys should be must starts. If I'm going based off matchup, I think J.K. Dobbins has the edge. Walker is going against the Rams, who still has Aaron Donald, some couple opportunities. But I'm going J.K. Dobbins here.
I would do that as well. It's one of my starts of the week. Jordan's House, thank you for the super chat, man.
Here we go.
He says Lockett or JSN and OBJ or Pickens versus San Fran. Thank you for the super chat. We always answer those straight away. I'm starting Lockett week 1. I think JSN could be limited, but regardless, I'm starting Lockett even if JSN's not limited here in week 1. Love JSN for the rest of the year outlook. And then OBJ versus Pickens. I don't think we need to overthink this one. I would go George Pickens. We don't know exactly what that wide receiver room is going to look like. There's a possibility that Zay Flowers is a guy from day 1. From all the hype that we've heard, you want to be careful about reports, but there's a point where the drumbeat is so loud that you can't not hear it and adjust expectations.
I completely agree there. So I would go there as well. Fang, Mingo, or Nakua. I think we both go Mingo there. Not sure.
Agreed.
Okay. Jacob, B-Rob, or Ayuk in full PPR. I'm going Ayuk in full PPR. And then he also said B-Rob or Dotson. I'm going Dotson. I will start the wide receivers over Brian Robinson. That's basically what I'm saying.
Exactly. Yeah, I would agree. Thank you so much for the super chat, Zach. We will answer your question straight away here for your super chat. He says, I've been offered Jamar Chase. I would be giving up Garrett Wilson and DJ Moore. Devonta Smith is my wide receiver 2. Gabe Davis is on the bench. He's been offered Jamar Chase. He would be giving up Garrett Wilson and DJ Moore.
I think that's too much in my eyes. I'm not sure
I would agree.
How you feel.
I love Jamar Chase, but I also love Garrett Wilson and DJ Moore.
100%.
And unless you... Like, to me, the question is, Zach, is more, what does your starting lineup look like? Is your starting lineup like a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and 1 flex? Then that becomes maybe more appealing. But if you have anything more than like a flex, 2 flex, then there's no way you should take the Chase side this early into the year.
I would agree.
Regardless, I think we're going Garrett Wilson and DJ Moore in most formats.
Yeah, I think we both are projecting, at least, I think we can easily say we're both projecting the same for Garrett Wilson to have a similar, we hoped for him to have a similar to Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, to Tyreek Hills. But, I project at least also a top 10 finish, in my opinion, for DJ Moore with Justin Fields, maybe even top 12. He is my guy coming into this year, so I won't be surprised if that is the case.
Okay.
So I just believe in DJ Moore coming into this year with Justin
I would be
Fields.
comfortable giving Wilson a top 12 projection and DJ Moore a top 20. But either way,
that's fair.
I would say you should keep those guys.
Yeah.
Stash Pierce or Sean Tucker. I'm going Tucker there.
Crazy to say, right? Shout out to Sean Tucker, baby. Talk it up. I love it. Yeah, Tucker, he's officially RB2 in that backfield, so I like that. Yeah. Monty or Dotson as a flex on half PPR. I'm going Dotson still. Not sure about you. Could be closer. This is
I'm
close,
going
though.
Montgomery. I'm going Montgomery there, especially if Terry plays for sure. Anthony, thank you so much for the super chat, man. We'll get to your question straight away. We need a flex at wide receiver, Deontay, Elijah, or OBJ. For me, this would definitely be Deontay Johnson.
Exactly.
They do face the 49ers, who will have Nick Bosa. So let's see what that off like. We will actually find out if the Steelers are legit week 1, right? The preseason
100%.
has been awesome. They've been lighting it up, no mistakes, but it's not been versus the San Francisco 49ers Nick Bosa led defense. So we'll find out if they're legit real quick. But regardless, I would go Deontay Johnson here.
Yeah, I would agree there. Still going Deontay Johnson. As much as I love Elijah Moore, Jacob said a little worried to start Mostert now with A-Chain fully healthy.
I'll say this.
Personally, not. I don't know about you.
No. I mean, look, I've been an A-Chain guy over on our Dynasty channel. I really like his game, and I think he is the perfect fit for the Miami Dolphins. Couldn't have gone to a better situation. However, week 1, I'm not super afraid of a rookie running back who is recovering from a shoulder injury, right? Excited about him long term, want to stash him on my benches, but not going to make me afraid to start Raheem Mostert here in week 1. Tequila says 100 people watching, less than 50 likes. Currently on 70 likes. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the support.
Shout out to you guys. All love.
Sweet tea bags.
Sweet tea bag. Shout out to you. Thoughts on this fantasy trade? I'm in a redraft superflex. I have Mahomes, Lawrence, Golf. I traded Lawrence, Jacobs, DK for Bijan and Tyreek Hill. So you traded Lawrence, Jacobs, DK for Bijan and Tyreek Hill. Is this is superflex?
Oh,
so
I don't like that.
Would have kept Lawrence, in my opinion.
Yeah, not a fan of that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. If that was Golf, I would have felt better about it. But I don't think he would have probably gotten that trade done if it was Jared Goff.
Yeah, so now we're relying on Mahomes and Goff, which is fine. But
Bijan,
no,
I mean, it's an
I'm not a
upgrade for
fan
wide
of this
receiver
one.
and the running back.
Yeah,
but yeah, the quarterback is it really tears down there.
Valuing quarterbacks in a 1 quarterback league versus superflex, completely different worlds. Lawrence has a legit chance with Calvin Ridley to be a top 5 quarterback. Averaging over 20 points per game. We like Goff. Goff is a safe play, but man, in a superflex league, Mahomes and Lawrence, that is one hell of a 1-2 combo. In fact, in all the superflex leagues I'm in, Badaki, there's no chance you would have Mahomes and Lawrence as your quarterback 1 and 2. Absolutely no chance.
That's true.
Because Lawrence would not get back to you in a draft.
Exactly. Yeah, which is crazy. So we would have kept Lawrence. So sorry about that, T-Bags. Just want to be honest there with you. Steel Mob, Walker, or Addison. I'm going Kenneth Walker there.
Yep, same.
Support and like and subscription. These guys rock. Thank you so much, Tequila. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
Love the support. Colin, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex, full PPR. So I'm assuming start 1. Okay. Watson, Drake, London, James Cook, or Brian Robinson. If Christian Watson plays, you start him, in my opinion, but it doesn't look like he's going to. So give me Drake, London. It looks like it's going to have to be James Cook and Brian Robinson if Christian Watson doesn't play here.
Yeah, I would say I'm going London. At this point, I'm going London regardless. If Watson just had an injury, I need to reassess his rankings.
That's actually very true. So I like that thought process.
So I'm going London there regardless now at your wide receiver spot. At running back, definitely Brian Robinson. Great matchup. Cardinals were awful versus running backs last year. They'll be bad this year again. And then you have a flex spot, which would be Watson if he plays. If Watson doesn't play, you'll answer that question for yourself, and it'll be James Cook.
Exactly. Jacob, should I trade Pacheco for Breece Hall?
Yes.
I would say yes.
Yes.
100%. The longevity in second half of Breece Hall is great.
Monty or Jamal Williams? We did answer this one. Montgomery.
You said Monty. Jerry, should I shout Javonte Williams or Miles Sanders or Pierce?
Sanders.
I'm personally have Miles Sanders higher than Pierce this week. So I would go there. But it is very close. Michael says because he will prefer to hear validation or confirm
Yeah,
their
we
thoughts.
talked about that. Yeah.
Talk about Stevenson. Okay. What's the question here? Who can I trade for Etienne?
Depends on like the bigger question, Royer, is what does the ETN owner want, right? Would he accept Jonathan Taylor straight up? Because that would be my first option. But you'll have to check with him first. Yeah, like we get questions sometimes. It's like, what should I trade this player for? Well, we can give you ideas. Ultimately, it doesn't matter what we think, though. It matters what the owner in your league of that player thinks.
Exactly.
Appreciate you, Chase. Raheel says, who should I start in my flex? DJ Moore, Najee, Ramondre, Pickens, OBJ, P-Ryan. How do you have this many options for a flex position? Like, ultimately, in this question, we're going to get it wrong because DJ Moore, Najee, Ramondre are must-starts. You can maybe
100%.
even put Pickens in there. So you have 3 players at minimum that we would start in almost all of our leagues. We would consider players you need to start. However, I guess I lean DJ Moore here.
Yeah, I'm going DJ here. Wide receivers we like to start in the flex options. Has a good matchup here against the Packers, so we'll definitely see what that looks like. But yeah, all those guys need to be starting.
Tequila's telling me that Ramondre Stevens' levels above Zeke. Let's see. Raheel says, we already answered this, guys. Don't need to put your questions in there twice. If you want to answer straight away, drop a super chat. Otherwise, we will get to it in order. Cedric says, let's draft Talk It Upstream was fire with Zach's reaction.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah. During the NFL draft, I'm a Commanders and a Chiefs fan. And when the Commanders chose our first-round pick, which is now Emmanuel Forbes, over Gonzalez, I was furious because I loved Gonzalez. We'll see what happens. Pacheco or Herbert? I'm going Herbert.
Yep, agreed.
Should I trade Chubb for T. Higgins, Sanders, and J.K. Dobbins?
And if you get all 3 of those guys, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I would say.
And it also depends on format. I think format's really important with that one. Like, as crazy as it sounds, there are people out there who are in like an 8-man league, and everyone on their team is already good. So, but yeah, overall, I would definitely accept that, considering without considering context, if that makes sense.
Yeah, agreed. Any expectation for OBJ this week? Honestly, it can go either way. He could be the first wide receiver on this team, or he can, he can only get like 5-6 points. It's really difficult to really predict that.
Yeah,
but
he's a really fun wild card, is what I would say.
Yeah. 100%. It's not exciting to start this week, but if he does get you those points in the flex option, then that's exactly what you wanted. Austin said Amari Cooper, Deontay Johnson. I think we could both confidently say Amari Cooper.
Yes.
There. Single flex, Raheem Mostert to Chris Godwin. That's where I'm going. Chris Godwin.
Same.
Okay, Brandon, what's the question here? Trade Cousins, Henry, and Lamb. Trade Cousins, Henry, Lamb, and Flowers for Mahomes, Saquon, and JSN.
1 quarterback, 6-point passing touchdowns, 2 across the board. Cousins, Henry, Lamb, and Flowers for Mahomes, Saquon, JSN. In a 1 quarterback league, obviously I still love Patrick Mahomes, but I'm not doing this deal.
Having Derrick Henry, in my opinion, who's my RB3, CeeDee Lamb, who's my wide receiver 4, so wide receiver 4 or 3, I'm keeping that compared to getting JSN, who we don't really know what's going to happen. We think he's going to be great long term, but this year specifically in a redraft, I want to keep Henry Lamb in that scenario.
Yeah, I think the question really is, would you rather have an elite quarterback or an elite wide receiver in a 1 quarterback league? And for us, that would always be an elite wide receiver. Yeah, even though 100%. Mahomes is clearly the best player of the package. Anthony says, start 1, Deontay, Elijah, OBJ. We'll go Deontay there, I assume. Start 3, Hodgins, JSN, Rondell, KJ, Osborne. In this scenario, I'll rock with JSN if he plays.
Yep, makes sense.
And then I'll need to check my rankings for the rest because I would typically not be starting those guys.
Yeah, I typically wouldn't either. I would be going Jason, Hodgins, and Rondell Moore. I'm going KJ Osborne. I don't love it.
Yeah.
But if the reports are true that KJ is the number 2 in this offense, then you're gonna have to lean on the reports potentially. On a better offense with a quarterback he already has chemistry with, unlike Rondale Moore with Josh Dobbs. That's what I would say.
I just feel like the way those guys would get points is different. Rondale's going to get, I think, a safer floor. So I would sit KJ Osborne myself.
Sure.
Yeah.
I hear you.
No worries, Jordan. Herbert or Juju, Khalil Herbert.
Herbert.
Casey says he would smash except Chase. Yeah, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
We aren't doing any team rates today, Francisco. Sorry. If you want to have your team graded by us, though, we do offer the fantasy hotline for anyone who wants a direct DM for advice for, if you want us to review your team, if you want us to review a trade that you've been offered. We offer something called the fantasy hotline over on the Flock Fantasy website. You can use our promo code LAND to get 30% off. Choose a Mother Flocker tier, DM us, and we'll get your hotline set up. But we're not doing any team reviews today. It just takes too long.
I think the next question is Quayho.
Okay.
Quayho? I'm sorry. I don't know. Sorry if I'm butchering
You're
that.
definitely probably not saying that right.
I'm so sorry. Sky Moore, Drake London. We both say Drake London
Yes.
there. Should I trade Stevenson for Kenneth Walker? I like Stevenson long term personally. Not sure about Zach.
Jeez. If this was a dynasty question, I would definitely say Walker. But
100%.
this year, probably Stevenson, but it's close.
Trent says Gibbs or Etienne.
Rest of the season, it's very close. It depends on your format, but I do have Gibbs Etienne one spot higher than Jameer. Don't think you can go wrong. They're both going to be great.
My thing just froze. I was tripping there. I am going Etienne, excuse me, for this year. I don't know if you heard if we talked about that or if that's what you would talk about. Okay, sorry. Patrick Mahoney, my goodness, what an opportunity to be in your presence, brother. Should I start Terry week 1? I need a decent receiving target because Mike Kelsey probably won't play Thursday. So you're not gonna, you won't have Travis Kelsey on Thursday night.
This is Patrick Mahomes telling
Patrick
us.
Mahomes here.
This could be breaking news.
This is breaking news.
Yeah. This could be breaking news on the stream.
First of all, congratulations on the Super Bowl.
Would love to meet you. Would love to meet you.
Yeah, 100%. Congratulations.
In fact,
matter of fact, I don't know if you know.
Would love to have you sign this, if possible.
Yeah, Patrick Mahoney's. Wow, what an opportunity.
If you could sign that for me, that would be. I could ship it somewhere. Anyway.
No, send him one that's signed.
Oh yeah, just send me more. Send me more.
Yeah.
Okay, people are like, all right, it was a funny bit, but let's move on.
I know. Right? Should I start Terry week 1? If he plays, it feels like you have to start him if you don't have any other depth.
Yeah.
I guess the real question is what's your depth?
Yeah, it's hard to answer a question when we don't know the other options, But yeah, if he plays, for sure.
Agreed. Jordan. Can you say that though? Okay, well, I'm assuming
V Rosado. I think these guys are talking about the Chase and Garrett Wilson trade. Do you think Monty is going to be a solid RB2 for the year? Yes. Big fan of David Montgomery this year. And in leagues where you went heavy wide receivers to start and went your running backs late, he is an ideal RB2 in those scenarios. Cooper.
I don't mind Monty.
Yeah, it says pick an RB to pair with Bijan, James Conner, Gibbs, Dobbins, and Godwin or Lockett. How do you guys have these options?
Honestly, if I had to choose one, I'm going Jahmyr Gibbs or J.K. Dobbins. But every single one of these guys feels like you have to start coming into this week. But if I had to choose one, I'm going Jahmyr Gibbs.
But you literally just named off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players that are must-start players.
Yeah.
I would put all the names in a hat. Pick one out, right?
Yeah.
No, I guess I would probably say Gibbs. That's tough.
Yeah, it is tough.
Everyone watching the stream. Lennon says, appreciate you, man. What's
so
up,
much.
Skyler? 12 team,
man?
half PPR, 1 quarterback, gang. Send
Gang.
Christian Watson, Downs, and C. Brown to get Ramondre. So Christian Watson, Josh Downs, and Chase Brown. My question is, this sounds like a dynasty trade. This doesn't
does
sound,
sound like a-
this doesn't sound like a redraft trade. I don't imagine many redraft leagues Josh Downs or Chase Brown being rostered heavily.
Unless you're like in a 32 man or something ridiculous, or
Yeah.
18, 16, I don't know.
So let's answer it from two perspectives. If it's dynasty, no way. Keep the Watson side for me. If it's redraft, then I'm fine to get Ramondre because I don't really feel like Downs and Chase Brown are going to play huge roles, or they'll be startable options. He says it was dynasty. In dynasty, I'm keeping Christian Watson side.
Christian Watson, 100%. Cooper, Kincaid, or Chig. I think did we answer this earlier? Oh no, I think it was Laporte or Chig.
I'm going Chig still. I need to see it first with these rookie tight ends.
Yeah, you got me thinking ever since you said that. What is the safest floor for Chig though? Like I feel like
Chig never relied on volume last year when he was good. It was all efficiency. So
yeah, we haven't seen. Look, I understand we haven't seen it with Kincaid. This is really tough, but this is what I would say, Cooper. I will not be surprised if Kincaid has a better fantasy finish than Chigakonkwo this year. If you're willing to take the chance,
this year, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, if you're willing to take the chance, I will start Kincaid, but I understand what Zach is saying with Chig.
Eric says, is Josh Reynolds worth a start? I wouldn't be starting Josh Reynolds.
No.
In fact, I would start Marvin Jones.
Exactly. It's Marvin Jones.
Josh Reynolds. Couldn't tell you which way it would go, but if your options are Josh Reynolds or Marvin Jones, I'm going with Marvin Jones. I will say, though, I would rather start an MVS on the other side if that's an option for you, a Jet McKinnon. So, yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. Marvin Jones, James, Kincaid, or Everett.
Still going with Everett. Need to see it.
Yeah, I'm going with Everett as well. But Everett has a lot of mouths to feed in that offense as well. So we'll see what happens. What happens. Next question, Cooper, Goff, Kirk, Cousins, or Geno? I'm assuming you're asking for this week.
Kirk Duggins for me.
Yeah, I feel like Kirk has the better start this week against Tampa Bay, so I will go Kirk Cousins as well.
Kirk Duggins, one of my starts of the week. Yeah, I would choose him.
Start Kincaid, Everett, or Dortich. I think we said it. It was Everett, Sky. Also using IDP. To be honest, James, we don't have too much information about IDP. I don't know much about IDP personally. I'm not sure about Zach, but
yeah,
we didn't want to.
It's like there's no wrong way to play fantasy, right? I just find more enjoyment in non-IDP leagues. IDP meaning individual defensive players. You can draft them, get points based off sacks, interceptions, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm not in many. So there's not a wrong way to play fantasy. That's what I would say. Francisco says, would you trade Walker and Debo for Hill in a PPR league? Walker and Debo for Hill. This is one of those questions where it's like, need more information. If you guys are sending trade options in the chat, we need information, right? How big is your starting lineup? How big is your league? Like if you're asking me this question and it's a 14-man, 10 or 11 starting roster, then yeah, the Walker and Debo side's the right one. If this is a 10-man league and you're starting 7 to 8 players, Tyreek Hill is the answer, right? So context is important with those things.
Yeah, I completely agree. JM Juice was good. Should I keep Drake London as my flex? My other options, Sky Sun, Quinton. Yes, I think we would say Drake London there over all those guys.
Yeah, agreed.
McKinnon or Hollywood in full PPR. Style says
this
one's interesting.
That is tough. I'll go Hollywood, but I'm
going Hollywood as
tough.
well. But yeah, that is very, very close.
That's where the rubber hits the road there.
Yeah, who has a better season, J.K. Dobbins or Cam Akers? I think they could both have a, very, very good season. I would say J.K. Dobbins has the better opportunity with the better offense.
Yeah.
Coming into this year.
I'll go Dobbins too.
Anything can happen. Ghost, what's up? Just drafted 12 PPR. What do you think? Looks like a great team so far. We have to see what JT looks like for your team there, brother.
Yeah, let's hope you don't have to rely on JT and you got him late in drafts.
Crypto, should I trade Swift and Waddle for Nick Chubb and Amari Cooper? Swift and Waddle for Nick Chubb and Amari Cooper. I would say yes. I would say yes if you need the running back help. And
Regardless,
you
I'm
can,
going yes. I'm with you.
yeah, if you need the running back help, I would do it.
Absolutely
And we
agree.
got a super chat. Jawan,
Thank you for the super chat, man. Very kind of you. If you guys don't know, if you want your questions answered straight away, drop a super chat. We prioritize those. So the
says,
question, go ahead.
yeah, pick 2, full PPR, Miles, Damian Pierce, Raheem, Monty. I think it'd be Miles and Monty for the both of us, if I'm not mistaken. You let me know.
Yes, you said Miles and Monty.
Yes, Miles and Monty over Raheem and Damian Pierce this week.
I would agree. What I will say is, Jawan, being honest with you, there's a wide range of outcomes with all the running backs that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
So
100%.
keep in mind, we can't tell you exactly how football is going to play or how it's going to pan out. We don't have a crystal ball. We can only say what we would do. So I would go Miles and Montgomery myself. However, all those running backs have decent opportunities ahead of them this week. I just feel better about the matchups that Miles and Monty have this week. So best of luck. I hope that's helpful, but that's what we would rock with ourselves.
Yeah, appreciate the super chat. Angus says StarTube in PPR, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, or Mike Evans. I think I can confidently say for both of us it's DJ Moore and Deontay.
No, I'm going DJ Moore for sure, but I'm going Mike Evans. We talked about
Okay.
this 2 days ago a little bit. But yeah, I like the matchup for Mike Evans. It's very close. They're literally back-to-back in my rankings, Mike Evans and Deontay Johnson. So I'm not like overly upset if someone were to go Deontay over Mike, but for me, it would be DJ Moore and Mike Evans.
Yeah, for me, DJ Moore and Deontay Johnson. Hopefully that helps. With Cup officially out, is Higbee a start over Ingram? Ooh,
That's a very good
great question.
Yeah.
I mean, with Calvin being in the mix here, someone has to take a hit, and I think it could potentially be Ingram in this offense as a pass catcher. So I would say he could be a really good start this week.
Yeah.
Yes, over Evan Ingram.
I'm just looking at my rankings right now, and I probably would put Higbee. Like with this information, I'm starting Tyler Higbee over Ingram, over Njoku, over Pat Freiermuth. Myself, so he would actually be my tight end 7 on the week. So he would get a huge bump from me. So yeah,
I would agree.
He was my start of the week before the Cup injury. It's only stronger now for me. So yeah.
Yeah. Komet or Chig? I'm going Komet. Not sure about you.
Yeah, I would slightly lean Komet, but both of
worries.
those guys are going to be hit and miss.
Yeah. Austin, brother, what can you get for Debo? I mean, it's such a loaded question. Depends on what that other person values Debo's with.
What I will say, though, is that I did drop a video on our channel not too long ago. The video was released 6 days ago, and I talked about Deebo Samuel, and I gave you potential trade away options. So, like I said earlier with the Ramondre Stevenson question, if you want to know what I would trade Deebo Samuel for, I will put this link in the chat. Go look at the Deebo take because that's an in-depth look at what you could trade him away for.
Yeah, that's good. Lennon says, worried about that Rams overall defense or offense. I understand. For my flex, Mike Williams, Quinton, Odell, Jordan Addison. I think we could both say Mike Williams there.
Yep.
New Fallen Angel, trade Higgins and pick up Cup, good or bad. I still have Justin Jefferson, Christian Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, Adam Thielen. I mean, the fact that you have Christian Watson, I think is a little bit shaky there. I feel like I would rather have Justin Jefferson and T. Higgins personally right now, because Cooper Kupp can go on IR and you'll trade for him and he can be out for 4 weeks. It's tough. That's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
I think I'm going risk aversion until we know more about Cooper Kupp. So I'm keeping Higgins.
Here's what I'll say.
You can do something special though if you do get Cooper Kupp.
If Cooper Kupp plays next week, then you lost that trade.
100%. But if Cooper Kupp,
so there's a lot of
you win that trade. You mean
for this to be? We don't know risk reward. Again, this one to me comes down to how big are your starting lineups. If I only need to play 3 wide receivers, it's 2 wide receivers and a flex. I'll take Kupp and wait on him to come back. But very close. If it's a league that has a lot of starters, I would probably go Higgins and avoid the headache. Edward says Kareem Hunt still worth a roster spot if he doesn't find a home by week 2. Not if he doesn't find a home by week 2.
Exactly.
He just, honestly, I think people will struggle to roster him if he doesn't have a home by the beginning of the year. Like after week 1 is finished and we're looking at waiver wire pickups, I think that will be the first player people drop, just because he doesn't have a team. Like there's going to be other players that are more intriguing on your waiver wire.
Unless there's a big significant injury, let's just say, let's say Deion Jackson goes down or Zach Moss goes down. He was supposed to be the guy, and they just don't want to ride with Deion. Maybe Zach Moss finally goes to the Colts, or Raheem Mostert goes down and he has to go to Miami. Right? Miami's gonna give him the money. Like it just all depends what happens week 1, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens. Nico Collins or Zay Flowers. We will easily say Zay Flowers there.
Agreed.
Raheem Cooper says Raheem Cooper, Deontay Johnson, or Sky Moore at flex. Cooper as in Amari Cooper. I think I'll go Amari Cooper there if that is Amari. I don't think that is Cooper Kupp. Now that he's out.
Yeah. And if it's not, if it is Cooper Kupp, then Deontay. But most likely Amari Cooper.
Yeah. First pick of my non-PPR draft. I want to go RB. Who do I take? CMC maybe, or Derrick Henry, Bijan. I mean, there's so many opportunities.
Oh, a non-PPR draft.
So many ways you can go there.
Look, in non-PPR, you would approach it completely different to a PPR format.
Maybe Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb would be a fantastic pick. Bijan would be a great pick. Nick Chubb and
Josh
Derrick Henry.
Jacobs.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs. Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, those guys would be like prize picks in that format. So yeah, hopefully one of those guys are available.
Cooper says Godwin, Lockett, Dobbins, or Connor at flex. We will go Lockett
guys.
there.
How do you guys have all these options at flex?
I have no idea.
Who did you say?
Lockett for sure. Lockett. Yeah.
Ah, man, Dobbins is really interesting there. Like, inevitably, we're going to get this question wrong because all these guys should be starting. Gosh, man, that is genuinely... I don't know who will be the better option there. I probably would go Chris Godwin.
Okay. Chris Godwin, he says. Adam, sorry, who would you trade for Swift and possibly Ayuk together? I mean, Adam, once again, a massive loaded question. It just really depends on how they value those players. There's so many different ways this can go. Does this player value Swift in the likes of someone as high as a J.K. Dobbins and Cam Akers, or do they value Swift as low as someone like a James Cook or Isaiah Pacheco? It just really depends. Really depends on what that looks like in your trade question. But if someone sends you an offer, maybe we can look at that.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahoney. Shout out to Patrick Mahomes once again. Would you guys start Juju or Romeo Doubs as Terry doesn't play? My backup wide receivers looking rough. Well, if Romeo Doubs doesn't play, you have to go Juju. But if Romeo does play, I'm going to go Romeo.
I think I'm
Don't
going
love the Juju pick.
Juju regardless.
He's number one receiver on this team, to be fair.
Yeah, I will go Juju regardless there myself.
Okay.
It's not going to be
That's
sexy, but it'll be a safe play. Hopefully.
Okay, next question. Sorry, I don't know how to say that. Bada. Should I get rid of CMC for Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders, and Quentin Johnson? CMC is my only running back right now. Wide receivers are Cooper, Metcalf, and Mike Williams. 16-team PPR. Well, the question is
that's important.
The question is this a one running back? Should I get rid of CMC for Josh? Like, it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong here, can you start two running backs? This is only a one running back start.
No, I think he's saying his only running back that he feels comfortable starting is CMC.
CMC is my only running. The way I'm reading it says CMC is my only running back right now.
That doesn't mean that his league has one RB starting, though.
For sure. So I think for me it's a little bit confusing, but yeah, I mean CMC for Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders, and Quentin Johnston. Yeah,
in a 16 team, see, this is why context is so important. In a 16 team, Quentin Johnston's probably starting week 1 for someone. Miles Sanders is probably someone's RB1 if they drafted a certain way. So yeah, in a 16-team league,
I would say it's worth
I'll take
it.
the Jacob Sanders and Quentin side.
I would agree there. All right, should I play Drip, Kinetic Drip? Should I play Treylon Burks, Addison, or Van Jefferson because of Kupp's injury? There, I am going Jordan Addison.
Oh, this is tough because
I don't love the idea.
It is between Treylon and Addison, and they're very close in my rankings. In fact, I have Treylon as my wide receiver 38, Addison is my 36. So I will lean Addison, but that is close. And to be fair, Burks will be named a starter. Addison won't technically on the depth chart. So
he's back at practice. He's practicing a lot of interesting. Trent 49ers defense or whoever plays the Cardinals. We're going Cardinals.
Yeah. If you can get whoever plays the Cardinals weekly, that would be my my option there. But to be fair, the Niners they'll get a lot of sacks with Bosa, and they will get a lot of interceptions.
Yeah, agreed.
I guess I would lean the Niners defense rest of season, but yeah, that is a good question.
Sam Laporta, or Jawan Johnson at tight end. I think we talked about this earlier. I won't be surprised if Laporta has a higher game this week. We'll see. The grind guys trade Mostert and Elijah Moore for Khalil Herbert. I'm not doing that. I'm keeping Elijah Moore.
Yeah, I don't think I would do that either. Because it's not like Herbert doesn't have any good talent behind him. I'm not saying that Rashawn Johnson's going to be the one who takes over this backfield. What I will say is, based on my evaluation of him over on our Dynasty channel, he could lead that backfield at the end of the year. Yeah. And if that change even happens in week 2 or 3, where it goes from Herbert getting 60% of the opportunities to, now it's a true 50-50 opportunity share, then you won't have any chance to trade Herbert. Love Herbert this week. I think he's going to be fine to start the year. But I think if we're all 100% honest, we would be worried about Herbert if we were in the playoffs of our fantasy playoffs this year.
Second half of the season, you think of Roscoe getting some opportunity or whatever the case may be. So completely agree there. Cooper, would you start either Lockett or Godwin over Keenan? I'm going Keenan Allen. I think Zach will do the same there.
Agreed.
Keenan Allen there. No worries, Patrick. PNW Hoops. Please, I need 2 running backs and a flex. Miles Sanders, Monty, Rashad White, Kenneth Walker, Khalil Herbert, George Pickens. A lot of good people here. So 2 running backs and a flex. So I am seeing Kenneth Walker, who I would start.
Y'all got some loaded teams, dude.
Now the question is between Miles and Monty. I think I'm going Miles over Monty this week.
Okay.
I actually...
So I can start 3 players here?
Yes, you can.
Jeez, dude. How do you guys get these teams?
So for me, it will be Kenneth Walker, Miles Sanders, and then the next question is, do I want to start George Pickens or David Montgomery? I think that's where I'm leaning at right now.
Okay.
And
so I'll answer the question just quickly. I'll go Ken Walker. Love his matchup versus the Rams. I'll go Miles Sanders versus the Falcons. And then I would personally go Rashad White versus the Vikings. The Vikings are terrible on defense. And Rashad White should get plenty of opportunity through the air. Whatever he gets on the ground is a bonus. So, yeah, I'll lean those 3 running backs. But man, y'all got some. Like, oddly enough, Badaki, I feel like the leagues that are like 8-man, 10-man are way more difficult to answer than a 12-man league.
100%. No doubt about it.
Because it's like, should I start Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, or Tyreek Hill? It's like
everyone. Please.
I don't know, bro.
I'm going George Pickens as my 3rd player there, by the way. Adithya, how you doing, brother? Which 2 should I flex and have PPR? Sky, Pacheco, or McKinnon? If Kelsey doesn't play, I'm going Sky and Ooh. I don't think we had Pacheco or McKinnon before.
I'll go Sky.
Excuse me.
But
which 2?
I'll go Sky and Pacheco, but McKinnon.
I think on the ground. On the ground you're gonna get Pacheco there, but Sky, I have for sure. Pacheco I already have higher in my rankings than McKinnon.
Don't want it in the stream. I'll be right back, so you'll handle it. You won't see the comments on screen, but Aki will be answering your questions, guys.
Yeah, no worries. Next question: flex option 12 team full PPR. James Cook versus the Jets, or Sky versus the Lions. I'm personally going Sky more. I love James Cook. He's my guy this year. We're going against the Jets, who has a phenomenal defense this week or this year. I want to wait and see approach over Sky, but is Sky more? The thing is, if Travis Kelce does play, I'm still going Sky more over James Cook. So keep that in mind. Cooper said Goff or AR this week. I'm going Jared Goff. I need to see this. It's kind of the same thing there. I need to see what he does against the Jags there with Anthony Richardson. Jared Goff should have some good opportunity, especially with Chris Jones missing week 1. Okay, yes, you can start 2 at flex. But it says Sky at flex start 1. I'm assuming. I'm trying to read that. At flex start 1. I'm assuming half PPR. CeeDee Lamb, Bijan, AJ Brown, Sun God, or Josh Palmer. You start all those guys. That is tough. That is a funny one. I don't know if that's a real question, but that is not something that is not a situation that I want to be in. Number one. Number two, we're gonna get that answer wrong. CeeDee Lamb, Bijan, AJ Brown, Amon-Ra Adams all need to be started. Joe Everett, Jake Ferguson, or Dalton Kincaid. In what I'm thinking here, I'm trying to see what Zach would do here, actually. My first thought process would be going Joe Everett. Zach will go Joe Everett here as well over Jake Ferguson, so that makes sense. Need QB, Watson, Captain Kirk, or Golf. I'm going to Deshaun Watson this week. I think he has a great opportunity to really bounce back and be that top 5 quarterback he has been in his career. So give me that. Beans or corn? I like both, brother. Beans and corn. How about that? Mason with Sean Payton saying today Javonte will have a big role versus Rays. I now want to play him. Antonio Gibson, Javonte, and Dameon Pierce have to sit one. Who do I start? I am personally sitting Antonio Gibson. I think Zach will start Antonio Gibson and Javonte. I can actually tell you here. Let's see, Dameon Pierce is actually back-to-back in his rankings there. So he would start Javonte Williams, but then he has Dameon Pierce ahead of Antonio Gibson. So going off his rankings, he would go Javonte and Dameon Pierce, but it's close for him. I'm going Dameon Pierce with confidence. JJ says, has Monty over Dubs this week? Thoughts? I see you guys don't agree. Well, I think we do agree that we would both start J.K. Dobbins over David Montgomery against the matchup here against the Texans, who gave up, off the top of my head, it was a top 5, top 8 amount of points to the running back position this past year. I think that is going to continue coming into this year. The Ravens are going to be, an explosive offense here. So we would both go J.K. Dobbins. I can double check that for you. He has J.K. Dobbins over Monty. Maybe we did disagree earlier, but I'm not necessarily sure what we said earlier. Okay, he says I have an 8-team draft and in an hour drafting at the 106. I've never been in a league with so little people. Any advice? It doesn't matter who you take, you're gonna have a good team. I'll be completely honest with you. 8-team leagues are normally like you start everyone, and you're gonna have the conversation of starting Amon-Ra or sitting AJ Brown, which is like technically they both have to start. So I think no matter what, it's going to happen for you. Fancy Dog, hashtag 86 likes. Appreciate you guys. Amazing stuff from you guys this week. We really love and appreciate all the support you guys have been giving us. PPR, Tyler Lockett or DJ Moore at flex. I'm going, this one's close. I'm going DJ Moore. I'll tell you exactly what Zach would do. He would go DJ Moore, but for him, it is very close. He has DJ Moore, wide receiver 18. He has Tyler Lockett, wide receiver 20. So I guess we might be on the same page there. All right, full PPR. Should I play Cam Akers or Brian Robinson over Dameon Pierce, or should I replace one of those guys in my flex over Cortland Sutton? Yes, I would do that. So I am playing Cam Akers this week, but I am confidently starting Dameon Pierce over Brian Robinson. And I would start Brian Robinson over Cortland Sutton personally. So full PPR, should I play Cam Akers or Brian Robinson over Dameon Pierce, or should I replace one of those guys in my flex? So if I had to choose two, I'm going Cam Akers and Dameon Pierce. Robert, we answered that. I said Deshaun Watson. I got to fill one running back spot next to Bijan. Breece Hall, Javonte Williams are coming off an injury. Should I play Khalil Herbert week 1? I think if Javonte Williams is getting the full go, we're starting Javonte Williams, no question. True player for real. That's Puff Daddy. Play McKinnon, Jaden Reed if Watson doesn't play, or Deion Jackson. I think we'll both go Jet McKinnon there. Deion Jackson's technically number 2. I guess McKinnon's number 2, but McKinnon gets to work in the air. Luca Magic says, I lost Cooper Kupp. Sorry, give me 1 second. My thing just froze. I lost Cooper Kupp, half PPR. Start one wide receiver, one flex. KJ Osborne, Zay Jones, Jalen Warren. I'm assuming Paris Campbell or Laporta. I was thinking of my flex, Andrews starting at Laporta and Osborne, or do I trade Laporta for Juju? So if you do have, this is what I would say. If you do have Andrews, you know what, just to get the depth, I'm happy to trade Laporta away to get Juju to start week 1. Maybe he'll get you some points. But if I had to choose one wide receiver, one flex there, Luca, I would personally go with Paris Campbell. And I don't like starting 2 tight ends. KJ Osborne, I'll have to go KJ Osborne. I don't like it, but I'm going Paris Campbell, KJ Osborne there. But that's a tough question. That's not a situation I want to be. Great answers on the beans and corn. Brandon, start Rachaad White or Van Jefferson. We will easily say Rachaad White there. Itty bitty South City.
Itty bitty titty committee. Where are you?
Itty bitty South City 650. That sounds like a strip club. Itty bitty South City down at the 605.
Yeah,
that's exactly where it's at right there. Who are you starting? Schultz, Dolchich, or Ferguson? I think I can confidently say Dolson and Schultz for the both of us.
Agree.
Okay, Marking Souls. Waller or Higbee. I'm going Darren Waller. And should I start both tight ends over Addison for a flex? That's a good question. I would do that. I don't like doing it, but in this scenario with Cooper Kupp being out, I'm going Darren Waller and Tyler Higbee.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
that's the right move.
Raccoons or toucans? Toucans just look majestic, but raccoons are little robbers, little burglars. Justin, thoughts on the dynasty trade? I'm so random. I'm a contender. Give up Akers and an early 4th for Derrick Henry, or should I leave it alone since his value will continue to diminish? I would personally keep Cam Akers in that 4th.
4th round pick means nothing though in dynasty.
Yeah, look,
assuming it's like a rookie pick.
Derrick Henry,
if he's trying to compete right now, I'm taking the Henry side.
Look, this is what I would say. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, look, if you are trying to compete right now, that can definitely be the option or opportunity. But I think Cam Akers is going to be of value this year. Another year, if he does pick off where he left off, it may not be sexy, but maybe it's this early 2nd round pick. Maybe he proves himself so much and he gets a contract extension. It can even be a 1st round pick. Derrick Henry value is diminishing. That's what I would do. But that's a chance you're willing to take if you really want to win this year with trading for Derrick Henry.
Yeah, if you're trying to win right now and you don't care about the future, then Henry would be my pick for sure.
Richard said, not a star sick question. Sorry, Rich, we're not looking at any teams right now. I mean, just by looking at it, it looks phenomenal. Like, your lineup here looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a good team. 10-man league as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Mason, yes, I am normally taking Dameon Pierce all day over Gibson, but Gibson plays the Cardinals, where Pierce has a tougher matchup versus the Ravens. Yeah, I think it was an earlier question. I said I'm taking Dameon Pierce, but
yeah, I'd rock with Gibby there this week.
Yeah. What player would be worth trading as a contender? Another loaded question there. Kinetic Drip. Sorry about that. Dobbins or Mostert?
Yeah, I'll just say quickly for Kinetic, we do have a Dynasty channel,
Mm-hmm.
and we've talked about a ton of trade videos over the last 6 months, so check that out. But yeah, if you have a more direct question, let us know. We'd be happy to answer it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Choose Shoes Media. We're going Dobbins there for the both of us.
Yeah, I would agree.
Poker. Half PPR. James Conner, Raheem Mostert. We will both go James Conner there as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
But that this is closer than you
It is
expect.
close.
In my house money situation, Justin said, got
First 2 years in a row. Got
2 years
second
ago.
last year. The other
Another
team
team-
that beat me is pretty good, so I'm just looking to buy one more hammer. That would be
with
Derek.
the Henry.
Derek
Derrick Henry. Sure.
All right, probably last question we'll answer for today. We probably
Mhm.
will in the stream here. By the way, 7 likes away from 100. If you have not hit the like button yet, please
We
be a
appreciate
friend.
you.
Help us hit that 100 like goal. Kenny Pickett or Russell Wilson or Derek Carr? In week 1 for me, that's a good question, man.
It's a risk, but I'm going Russell Wilson.
Go Russell Wilson too, yeah.
Yeah, he's playing the Raiders divisional game at home. You kind of expect Sean Payton to make a statement here, and you hope that Russ can really cook the way he is supposed to. So I'm going Russell Wilson, but
Yeah.
it's a risk play for sure.
No worries, Justin. All right, guys. That is it for today. Again, be a friend. Drop a like on your way out of the stream. We will be live tomorrow. So join us tomorrow. If you want to watch the game with us, we'll talk about the game. We'll talk about what's happening in the game, fantasy things. We'll do predictions before the game starts. Join us tomorrow on stream. Just turn your notifications on. You'll see exactly when we're live. If you have no one to watch the game tomorrow, don't watch it alone. Come watch it on the stream with us, and it's going to be a good time. So we'll see you then. And of course, we'll do start sits before as well. The game begins. So
All love, guys.
that's it, guys. Last thing that I will say for today is keep in mind that if you do want my weekly rankings over on the Flock Fantasy website, I release a database every single week with my weekly rankings. They will be PPR. I will also give you start sits. Over 300 players ranked on a weekly basis. If you want access to that, go ahead and sign up to the Flock Fantasy website with our promo code LAND. Make sure you use that LAND promo code so you get 30% off. But start sits at each position. Over 300 players ranked. I even do defense and special teams weekly because I know we get some questions like that in the chat. But also, if you want to direct a DM for advice, choose the Mother Flocker tier when you sign up. DM us, and you will get that direct DM. Outside of that, I think that's pretty much it. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
With some football.
With some football, yeah. So enjoy your night. We'll see you soon.
Love.